Today, we're talking about the secret sauce, the high-performance engine that makes the AI we use every day feel so, well, instant. That engine is a database called Cosmos DB. So, let's get right into it. You've probably had this happen. You're chatting with an AI, you ask it something, and bam, it pulls a perfect answer out of thin air using context from conversations you had weeks ago. It's kind of wild, right? So how on earth does it do that? How can it be so smart and so fast all at the same time? That's the big question we're digging into.
Because here's the thing, it all boils down to one simple fact. No matter how brilliant an AI is, it's completely held back by its database. It's like having a Formula One car with a tiny fuel line. If it can't get the data it needs in real time, that whole magic trick, that seamless experience just falls flat.
Okay, so how do you solve this massive speed problem? Well, it's not just one single thing. It takes a whole ecosystem, and right at the heart of it, a very specialized engine. Let's take a look at how Microsoft builds its AI solutions, and more importantly, where Cosmos DB fits in. I want you to picture this giant AI factory. On one side, you've got Microsoft Fabric. That's where all the raw materials, the mountains of data, get sorted and processed. Then you've got Foundry. That's the assembly line where the actual AI agents get built. But for these agents to do their job, they need something else, a very, very specific kind of data store.
And that's exactly where Cosmos DB comes in. Its role is to be the hot path data store. And that name, hot path, tells you everything you need to know. This isn't for data that can wait around. This is for the I need it right this second information that an AI has to have to give you that instant response.
The key thing to understand is that Cosmos DB isn't some general database they just plugged in. No way. It was designed from the ground up for this exact job. It powers real-time apps, it's a vector database, which is just a fancy way of saying it's great at understanding complex relationships and data. And it's built to work seamlessly with that whole AI factory. It's not a Swiss Army knife, it's a surgeon's scalpel. So that all sounds impressive, but talk is cheap, right? How does it actually do all this? What's going on that gives it this incredible speed and scale? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the architecture. First up, speed. And I'm talking about guaranteed speed. Cosmos DB comes with a service-level agreement, basically a promise that your reads and writes will take less than 10 milliseconds. And get this, that's for the 99th percentile, which means 99 out of 100 requests are that fast or even faster. That's not a we hope so, that's a contract.
But honestly, it gets even crazier. That 10 milliseconds is the guarantee. In the real world, the typical average read takes just 4 milliseconds. That is ridiculously fast. It's so fast you can't even perceive it, and that's the secret sauce that makes an AI feel like it's reading your mind.
So it's lightning fast, but is it reliable? Oh yeah, we're talking 5 nines of availability. What that actually means is that it's designed to be down for less than 6 minutes over an entire year. For an AI that's supposed to be on 24/7, that kind of rock-solid uptime isn't just nice, it's absolutely necessary. Okay, at this point, you might be thinking what I'm thinking. This sounds a little too good to be true. It's super fast, super reliable. There's got to be a catch, right? In the database world, you usually have to sacrifice data accuracy to get that kind of speed. So how does Cosmos DB pull off this incredible balancing act?
The answer is actually pretty clever. It's something called tunable consistency. Instead of forcing everyone into one box, it gives developers a dial with 5 settings. You can crank it all the way up to strong for things like banking, where every single person on Earth needs to see the exact same data at the exact same time. Or you can dial it way down to eventual, when all you care about is raw speed. And here's where it gets really cool for AI. Strong is super accurate, but it pays a small performance penalty. But check out session consistency. This is the absolute sweet spot for AI applications. It guarantees that you will always see your own changes instantly. So if you tell the AI your favorite color, you're guaranteed to see that reflected right away. It's the perfect balance of speed and personal accuracy.
So how do you manage and pay for all this performance? It's done with something called request units, or RUs. Just think of it as a universal currency for the database. Reading a piece of data costs a few RUs. Writing some data costs a bit more. It makes everything completely predictable. You just decide how much performance you need, and you get exactly that. No surprises. Okay, enough of the theory. That's how it's all supposed to work. Let's see how this is actually being used out in the wild, right now by some real companies building some incredible AI. First up, KPMG. You've probably heard of them.
They're one of the biggest professional services firms in the world, and they have a huge challenge. They are absolutely swimming in paperwork for things like financial audits. It is a perfect job for an AI to tackle.
So they built tools like TimeChat, an AI that just plows through documents, reviewing and pulling out key information. They also built Casecraft, which helps their teams build compelling stories out of raw data. And what's running in the background for both? You guessed it, Cosmos DB is the high-speed data layer feeding the AI all the information it needs instantly.
Next, let's look at Connectify. Now, these guys are playing for keeps. They work in anti-money laundering, a world where speed is everything. If you're a second too late, the bad guys win and the money is gone.
Their system has to drink from a fire hose of financial data, use AI to spot suspicious patterns, and raise a red flag immediately. For an app like this, the guaranteed low latency of Cosmos DB isn't just a nice feature, it's the entire foundation of their business. Without it, the whole thing just wouldn't work.
And for our last real-world example, we've got JADO Dynamics. They're in the automotive data business, and their challenge is less about split-second timing and more about sheer, mind-boggling scale. They use generative AI to create tailored marketing content, and that requires a ton of data.
Their tool, SalesLink, uses Azure OpenAI to create all this custom content. But that AI needs to be fed, and Cosmos DB is what's serving the meal. It's what allows them to manage these massive data sets and handle millions of transactions, all while feeding those hungry AI models so they can do their jobs effectively.
So if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. Cosmos DB isn't just another database you can use for an AI project. It's a specialized, fine-tuned, high-performance engine built from the ground up for the unique demands of real-time, intelligent applications that span the entire globe.
And that leaves us with one last, really exciting thought. We always hear that data is the fuel for AI, but this kind of technology changes the game. So the question we're left with is this. What new kinds of intelligence, what new applications that we haven't even dreamed of yet suddenly become possible when that fuel isn't just available, but is truly guaranteed to be instantaneous?